It's kind of hard to see it, but you can see the red top over, you can see all that dirt over the red top right there. We do have a Redhead steering. So I have been running a Redhead gearbox in my Jeep for over a year. Never did an install video, but I do want to show you guys a year review and see if it's worth it. If you have never replaced a gearbox, or if you've had it adjusted before, you should probably just replace it with a Redhead. They are upgraded gearboxes, which are going to be way better than anything you could find at O'Reilly's or the junkyard or anything like that. They are about 400 bucks, but it's definitely worth the price in my opinion, now that I've had it for over a year. So the Redhead, I did not install myself. I had a friend install it because at the time I didn't have time, but it's these 3 bolts here. You do the 2 hoses up top. You have to take off the pitman arm, and that's something that I did not want to waste a bunch of time doing. So I just had my friend do it, the Gooner. Check him out on TikTok, Snack Goon, or YouTube, the Gooner. So he helped me out with that. And honestly, that Redhead has been the best thing that I've done for my steering. I've always had issues with the steering, and that's why I have upgraded everything in the front end, including the Trail Forge steering, the full system. We got the Heim joints, tie rod, drag link. We've got the Heims drag link, tie rod. We also have the track bar relocation kit as well. That way we have proper geometry on the steering. I do have the Iron Rock press and bushing that is in there with their long arms. The only thing I haven't done is adjust the caster, which we will be doing soon. But I mean, other than that, I did everything for the steering. And right now, as you can see, like, I don't have a stabilizer, and it still drives really good as is. I will be installing one just for the bumps. Whenever we hit a bump, it does help with that. So that's the only reason I will be installing one. The Redhead gearbox is 100% worth it. It makes the steering wheel so much tighter. I mean, you guys probably know, like, look how much play I have in my steering wheel. Before, this would be moving like all the way up here and back down. That's how much play I used to have with the original gearbox. And then I did replace it with an O'Reilly's one, which honestly, it did the same thing. This Redhead, it feels so much tighter. Like, this is definitely worth it. And don't worry about that light down there. It's not a big deal. But I mean, even driving, like, this thing feels super tight. It drives straight as well. Like before, when I would drive it, to drive straight, I would have to like go left, right. But as you can see, like, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's actually turning the Jeep with the little movement that I'm making. Like right there, it's going straight. I can hold the wheel and it's gonna keep going straight. I can let go and it's gonna keep going straight. I don't have my hand on the wheel and it's still going straight. So do I recommend the Redhead gearbox? 100%. This has honestly made my steering feel like a new car. That's how I can best explain it. So overall, I mean, the Jeep does drive pretty good. The Redhead gearbox did make the steering feel tighter, how a car should feel. Now, you are going to be spending close to $500 just to get this. But let me break it down for you. You're paying for the product, which is about $300. Shipping can be up to like 50, like 30, 50 bucks. And you also do get a core charge. So before you order, check your gearbox. Make sure it's not an aftermarket, because if you do get an aftermarket, you're not gonna get the core charge back. If you do send back your original gearbox, you will get 150 bucks back. So all in all, you'll be spending around $350 for the gearbox, but you do need to have $500 just to be able to order it. And once you send back your old one, they actually send the refund pretty quick. So if you guys were aware, they do take care of you, you know, you get your money back. Now, like I said, I did not install this. I had the Gooner install this. A gearbox isn't that hard. The hardest part is gonna be removing that pitman arm. But anyways, yes, I do recommend the gearbox. Get a Redhead. I mean, you guys have heard about Redheads in the Facebook groups. You can ask anyone who's installed one, like, they're really good gearboxes. One thing you do have to keep in mind though, you cannot have an aftermarket power steering pump. You have to have OEM or an upgrade. The reason being, the aftermarkets, even though they're rated for the stock pitman arm, they don't have enough pressure for the Redhead gearbox. Even though aftermarkets do work on the stock gearbox, they don't have enough pressure for the Redhead gearbox. I had installed an aftermarket. The reason being was because my stock one had a cracked tank, and I didn't know I could just replace the tank until afterwards. So anyways, what we found was that there wasn't enough pressure pushing out of the pump to be able to turn at all, like barely. So we had to put the stock pump back on. Even though it's old, I replaced the tank and everything worked fine after that. So just keep that in mind if you have an aftermarket power steering pump. I was having that issue and I didn't know what it was, so I hit up Redhead. and they gave me those tips. They told me where to look for an aftermarket one if I needed one, and they took care of me. So I recommend their customer service too. If you guys have an issue, they will reply and they will help you out. And just to be clear, like, I did pay for the gearbox. They did not send me one. I think I had waited for Black Friday to order or something like that, because I'm all about the deals, dude. I'm broke too. I'm a broke Jeep owner, so being broke and being a Jeep owner does not go together. So you have to wait for Black Friday deals. Anyways, if this video helped you guys out, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.